lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippecanoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
Now that the fine print's out of the way, it's time to roll with the show. We're back and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And this time of the year, some of us are certainly cooler than others. I see the Bills are in, Barb's in, Grant, shout out to XP Team USA, Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, Nelson, and for those who did not catch that post, wish Nelson a big congratulations. It looks like he got himself a GW Friday. Scott from the Nomads walking in there in the chat there. Good to see Scott, definitely. I know he posted up earlier this afternoon saying he was looking forward to seeing what Dean had to say. Posted up a photo of the Simplex Plus with the control box cover that Dean makes. Very cool to see, very cool to see. So, links in the description. Shooters and Prospectors first and foremost. Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, a multi-line dealer dealing in XP, Nokta, Makro, Minelab, Garrett, DetectEd. Not DetectEd Outdoors, DetectEd Shafts, Detector Pro, Dean Ricker's control box covers, and many, many other items, so give the man a call. Our friends at DETECTEES.com, Ken, Mark, Darth, Buddy, and the gang doing a great job with the Beyond Sight and Sound, Dirt Pirates apparel, and many, many others. Our friends at TheRingFinders, XTREME Scoops, Metal Detecting NYC, Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to Merrill. Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube, DetectEd Outdoors on YouTube, All Metal Militia on Facebook. The Simplex raffle still continues, and also there are the links for Dean Ricker's PayPal me link, or his email address if you would like to contact him about a control box cover, or you can also contact Chuck Smalley, because he does carry those as well. Although currently, speaking with Chuck, yesterday I believe it is, he is all out of Simplex covers right now. He does still have some for the Equinox 6 and 800, but he does plan on restocking the Simplex covers, which I guess heads up to Dean if he didn't know that already. He may be getting a phone call from Chuck, but I didn't say that. One other thing too, big shout out to, it's been a while since I've heard any messages from our friends across the pond, but some very, very good messages coming in about the show this week from our friends over in Australia. So shout out to them. It's always nice to know that they're listening, and always good to give some acknowledgement there and let them know that we do appreciate them listening, even though it may be to the archives. But that's kind of the thing. The archives are there for everyone, for their enjoyment at any time, and we are worldwide. You can find us here on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeart, many other podcast distribution services, the Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook, Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group, many, many other Facebook groups, and Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube. So, let's get right into all of this. Obviously, our guest tonight, you folks have seen the drop for the promo, is Dean Ricker out of Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, I believe. So let's get him in here. How is it going tonight, Dean?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Nice. Well, we're definitely glad that you were able to take the time and sit down with us. I'm sure that, I don't know, here lately, seeing those covers everywhere, time is something that could be a little limiting for you.
Yeah, I was busy sewing when you called.
Keeps you busy, keeps you working, although I'm sure they don't take a whole lot to ship out or anything. It's not like there's a lot to them. Nice, lightweight cover, but it gets the job done. So, I guess to start out, for people that may not know, obviously you are more involved in the hobby than just making covers. You are a hunter as well. When did you get into the hobby, and what inspired you to get into the hobby?
Well, I got my first machine in 2006. It's something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. My folks rented a machine for me when I was about 12, 13 years old, because they didn't know at the time that if it would hold my interest. And I remember I found old coins in our yard at that time. My mother being a coin collector, she quickly offered me money for those coins, and I gave her the coins, and that was it until I got my first machine in 2006, which was just a cheap white deep box. Disappointed in it. I sold it. Kept upgrading. Tried a Garrett. I tried several different machines, and then I finally got my hands on a Minelab Explorer XS.
Oh, that's a nice jumping off point.
Yeah, that's when things started happening for me. Then I started finding silver. And I upgraded from that to, I wasn't the E-Track right away. It was one in between there. I can't remember.
Maybe Safari?
Yeah. And then I got to the E-Track. I really, really miss my E-Track. Right now I'm using the CTX 3030, and I have a Equinox 800.
Now, did you find going from the E-Track to the CTX, because I know this was a big thing for a lot of people at that point in time, the E-Track just had that signature silver sound where when you ran your coil over it, you knew before you even looked at your screen you were on silver. And when they came out with the CTX, you had to kind of tweak it a little bit to get even close to that sort of sound. Did you find that a little frustrating or anything for you?
Yeah, at first I kind of missed that warble, that little warbly sound. Yeah. It took a while, but I went over sites that I had been over with the E-Track, with the CTX, and I found more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about the machines that we have available to us today. Sometimes you go out there with a different machine, or, like you were using the E-Track, you went to the CTX, you go back out to these sites you've been hitting, and it's like you've just breathed new life into the site. You start seeing these targets come up that you're going, how did I miss this?
Right, yeah.
So you use the CTX now, and I believe you said an Equinox 800?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the Equinox? What do you think of it?
I've got to give it some more time. I like it. I'm really partial to that CTX. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting away from it. It's such a damn heavy machine, and I just have to. I'm just going to have to concentrate more on the Equinox 800. I've read nothing but good things about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a great machine.
Just not being fair with my time with it.
It'll pick up on stuff that the CTX won't, but to be fair, it's not a CTX. That's not to say the Equinox is better than a CTX. Because, you're kind of comparing apples to oranges, so to speak. The CTX is a phenomenal machine. But that Equinox will surprise you, given, the time with it and everything.
Right.
It will definitely surprise you. So over the years, what's been some of your better finds? What do people find out in your area of Iowa?
Well, we're not real old here. I found some of my better finds. Last year I found a coin purse with the top of the leather purse had a metal clasp on it, and in there was 7 coins, one being a 1888 barber quarter. The newest coin in there was a 1912 wheat.
Wow.
Couple Indian heads and V nickel, and then in the same hole was a skeleton key. So I put that in its own little frame. That was pretty cool. I found everything from, I'm looking at my display case right now, old toys to, Morgan silver dollar. I don't have any one favorite thing.
Right, I can understand that.
The whole collection, it's collectively treasure to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Got a lot of things that I don't even know what I have. I should probably post pictures and try to get some idea. In 2013, we got a call. I ran an ad for a while that I would help find rings, keys, or anything, I got a call from our nature center here in town, and they have what they call a raptor rehabilitation program. And they had nursed a snowy white owl back to the house after they found it injured with a broken wing. The snowy white owls are normally Canada and farther north. They nursed it back to health and they put a GPS on it. Well, they had a mortality sensor and they said our bird has died and we want to know if you can help us find it. And they had a GPS signal. That was good within 100 feet, something like that. And it was in a cornfield by a small town south of town here. And I went out there with a buddy and it was day after Christmas. It was like 14 degrees. We gridded out an area and we couldn't find it. And I said, I'm going to make one more pass. You know, I don't give up too easy. About 3 swings into that last pass, I found their snowy white owl. We submitted this story to Lost Treasure magazine in May of 2013. It's in the Lost Treasure magazine of that snowy white owl. All it had was a 2-inch antenna and the battery inside of that GPS unit. Is what I found. It was about a foot deep in the snow. And I got
wow.
it. Yeah, that's pretty neat story.
That's about like trying to pick up on a hearing aid. There's not a whole lot of metal there.
Right. Yeah, this thing was strapped onto the owl like a little backpack. And they just figure it hadn't eaten.
I think I'd have sooner been called to try and track down a bird band. At least there would have been more metal there.
Yeah.
That is a very, very cool story. I've heard a lot of interesting recovery stories doing the show, but that is a first. I've not heard one like that. Very cool and very commendable of you to do. That's definitely an experience.
Yeah, it was rewarding. It was pretty neat. It was quite a challenge.
Right? Yeah. Definitely, that would be, and to be out there in the snow like that, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Definitely, but kudos to you on the determination, because I know that there's been times myself, Chuck, a few times too, has had to try to track down something small like a hearing aid or an earring, something that there's not hardly any metal at all there. It almost seems like a futile effort, but to pull through with that, definitely cool, and I'm sure they appreciated it. I don't know how much they would be, but I would have to think those GPS units can't be cheap. Not for something like that.
No. I'm pretty sure that's what they were after.
So that's probably been your strangest and most memorable find, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. I got so much stuff here. It's hard to say. I like all of it. I just like finding it all. We're not real old around here. We hunt, my buddies and I hunt old stagecoach stops. We've been up on old pioneer trails into South Dakota, where they fought Indian wars and such.
Well, it sounds like you're not necessarily a bad area.
No, there's a lot of history right here in my town. We have one of the oldest housing bases in the state of Iowa because of lack of natural disasters, like tornadoes and floods and stuff. We're just not. We've never been hit. The town's never been hit by a tornado or anything. So we have homes dating back to the 1860s. The opportunities are endless.
And that makes it kind of nice with your town never being hit by a tornado, because that, for some of the areas that the bigger tornadoes have hit and things of that nature, it kind of wreaks havoc with the area hunters just due to the fact that it'll pick everything up and throw it everywhere. You're digging can slaw for years after a tornado.
Right. Yeah.
It can be a real mess. So, You've been into the hobby since 2006. You've used a number of different machines. The way it sounds, have made some interesting recoveries and made some nice finds along the way. What inspired you to start making your control box covers? I mean, did you just up one day and say, "Hey, I got nothing else better to do. Let's try this"? Or, I mean, there had to be something behind the concept.
Well, when I got the Explorer SE, I paid pretty good money for that detector, and I thought, man, I was looking on eBay for accessories and stuff, and I seen a cover, and I thought, I learned how to sew in the military, and that was back in late 70s. I got out, and I never did anything with that skill. And I looked at that cover and I thought, man, I bet I could make something like that. So I traced out a pattern, traced out my machine, got a hold of some material, and I made one. And I thought, this works pretty good. I thought I ordered some material, and I made about a dozen of them, and I put them on eBay. And they sold in no time, and I thought, I might have found an itch here.
Right, and, maybe I'm on to something.
Did because, yeah. So I got busy. It started off slow. The first 5-6 years were slow, and then the CTX and the E-Track came out. I started making covers for those, and it's gradually picked up through the years, and this Equinox has by far been the most popular detector I've ever made covers for. I was selling nonstop last year, just every night at the machine for at least 2-3 hours making them.
Wow.
I was selling them as fast as I was making them.
I'll bet, especially with these simplexes here lately, probably, because I know the dealers that have the machines, they go out the door just about as fast as they come in, it seems like. So what is your process for this? What materials are you using, and how long? I mean, we're talking about a handcrafted product. I'm sure with as many as you've made, you've definitely got it down to a science where you can just pretty much have a production line basically and just slap them out as you go along. But about how long does it take to actually make one? And what are the materials?
I use waterproof nylon Cordura 500D weight, and just good clear vinyl, thick clear vinyl. Nylon gross grain, and each cover anywhere from half hour to 45 minutes per cover.
Wow.
But I don't make them. When I sit down to make them, I usually go 40 at a time. It saves on thread. I can feed the next one into the machine right behind the last one. And it's a process.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. But I know I've used one on the Equinox for probably a year and a half, and that cover has by far been one of the best control box covers that I've seen in the industry. Over the years of using different detectors and box covers, because I'm always kind of big on that's a nice accessory to get for your detector. It helps protect the screen, and not only does it help protect the screen, we want to protect our investment. You know, the detectors aren't necessarily cheap, and if we ever come to a point where we try to resell it, the better it looks, the better off it is for us in the long run, and the more desirable it is for the next purchaser. So it's always good to have a control box cover on it, and yours are, I mean, for the quality and the fit, because they, at least on the Equinox, they fit excellent, very, very snug. You can't beat the price.
That was my thought from the beginning. I thought, I've spent a lot of money for this detector, and I'm probably going to get another one. So I'm going to want to sell it, and I want to keep it good. And that's how it all started.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
wish I'd kept it.
Right. I mean, over the years, I'll bet you there have been some machines that I have spent well over what you're charging for your covers, and they didn't fit or hold up near as well. So you've definitely got a quality product. And like we like to tell people on the show, if we find a product we like, we'll stand behind it. If we don't like it, well, you know, maybe we don't talk about it, or maybe we just say, well, yeah, that doesn't necessarily work. But if it's one that we like, they hear us talk about it, and we have been mentioning yours for some time now here on the show, and I know that Chuck has taken a fair interest in it as well. He seems to quite like the covers that you're making too.
Yeah, I've seen some out there that I can't, you know, I see them on eBay and whatnot. I think to myself, man, I can't believe anybody'd even buy something like that. But,
well, there's certainly nothing wrong with that at all. Not at all. And I guess for those listening, what models do you make covers for currently?
okay, I make them for the Equinox 6800, the XP Deus and Aura X. I make them for, of course, the Simplex, and you can get them in black or camo. I make them for the CTX 3030, with or without sun visors.
And, that's a nice touch.
Yeah. On special request, I'll still make them for the E-Track. I still have all the patterns for the E-Track.
Wow. And that is, that's something like special request, I guess they can email you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's usually the best contact point?
Yeah.
Or the best way to go about getting a hold of you?
Yeah, email.
Okay. Which also, for those listening, we do have the links for the contact information. Dean's email, his PayPal me link in the description of the show tonight. It's also been dropped into the chat for those that saw that large post go in with all the links, Detectors, Extreme Scoops, XP Team USA, all of those, that they can scroll up in the chat. Well, actually, I believe on the listeners' end that would be down in the chat. But either way, they can find it in the chat and get to it from there, and those will also carry over to the YouTube archive as well for those that are looking to contact Dean if they have a special request for an E-Track cover, something like that, because that is still, even today with the Equinox and the CTX out there, the E-Track is still a popular machine for some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that there are quite a number of them still using it. I don't know. Occasionally I'll still get it out and tool around with it, but anymore I'm pretty much XP Deus and the Minelab Equinox. And I believe we have a caller, hopefully, let's see, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going,
How you doing, Josh?
All right. I wasn't
Good.
sure
Hey,
with...
Dean, how you? This is Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
How's it going, buddy? You're out in a good area out there. That's rich in history out there. I mean, man.
Yeah.
You should be able to roll up some good stuff for a little legwork out there.
Yeah. I like our soil out here. It preserves them coins pretty good.
Does it?
Yeah.
That
come out of the ground in pretty good condition then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Lewis and Clark went through your area too.
Yes.
Yeah, they had if you go to Keokuk, Iowa, in the library down there, we came across a letter and some coins and a couple other things. A family in Keokuk's son was on that expedition, and he died out there in your area, in Sioux Falls area. And they sent a letter back to the family with the coins out of his pocket and a couple other items. And the family eventually donated that letter and the coins to the library in Keokuk. And it's in a box in there, and you can view it if you ask for it. Signed by Meriwether Lewis in regards to their son passing. And I think it was, they said bad water flu or something like that. And he died out there. And they sent all that back, and that letter resides in Keokuk, Iowa.
Yeah, that was Sergeant Charles Floyd.
That's it. With a name. I remember the name.
We have the monument right here in town. Yeah, he was the only one to die on the expedition.
Yep. And that letter from Lewis sits in a box, tucked away in the archives of a little library in Keokuk.
Wow, didn't know that.
See, sometimes that's the real treasure.
They handed me a card with the coins, and they taped them on there many years ago. The tape was yellow, and they were all French and Spanish coins.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't you get them off get that tape off there? And she said, we can't even afford to buy the 2x2s. I said, I'll go buy them for you. Get them off that. And she didn't say nothing. And
get them a nice little...
drawing boxes of stuff out. She pulled a map out. These libraries, these little medium-sized libraries are a wealth of knowledge for us treasure hunters out there, Dean. You ought to be checking yours up in that area because they got stuff tucked away that's phenomenal. I held the first map of Keokuk drawn by the surveyor, and it's on vellum, and it was hand-colored in, and it showed 6 or 8 buildings on the site in 1806, and I got to looking at it pretty close, and down at the bottom was signed by the surveyor. And it just, at that point, I was just stunned, because when I read the name, and it's very clear, he had very good writing by Robert E. Lee.
Wow. Yeah.
So that kind of stuff, guys, go out and check your libraries. You'll be surprised what's laying around in them.
Right. Maybe even, maybe somebody can even donate a nice Riker box or something to them to put that letter and coins in.
Yep.
Instead of hiding it away in a box.
It's just phenomenal. Keokuk's one of my favorite places to hunt, and I would love to come out your way sometime and follow some of the trails out across through the Dakotas and the Badlands and that again. I've hunted out there, so that's a lot of fun. But, Dean, you make a quality product. I like your product, and some of the listeners here have bought them from you. I got to get some more Simplex models ordered from you, and I got to get caught up. That's all there is to it. I've been kind of set back. I had a heck of a bout of something there for 2 weeks, so I wasn't getting much done.
Yeah, me too. I just got over the flu.
Yeah, basically, I don't know if it was flu or not, but it lays you low, doesn't it, Dean?
Yeah, I was down for the count.
Yep.
I can guarantee it lays everybody low, this stuff going around this year. I'm still dealing with a little of it. Not too bad, but still trying to get the energy level back up there.
Well, I had the flu shot too, and it still got through.
Right.
I had it too, Dean. It didn't make it very. It wasn't very effective for whatever that's still going around. So, but anyway, Dean, what are you finding right now you're making the most of? The ones for the Simplex, the Nox, 3030?
Still the Nox. The Nox is first. I'd say the XP Deus is the second best seller, and then behind that, the Simplex.
There you go.
I'm looking for that Simplex to really take off here in the spring.
I'm kind of thinking so as well. I mean, it's just been launched basically. Come spring, they're going to be more available, and there's going to be more people wanting those covers for their Simplexes, where you may see sales pick up on it.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. I've already got several guys kind of standing in line for those, and they're just waiting for the weather to break. And I said, well, I'm here. Give me a holler.
Yeah.
And we'll get you took care of. So I'm going to need some more Simplex covers. I'll be calling you.
Okay.
And I guess, too, a good point to mention, I had someone mention to me when I recommended a cover for their Simplex, they said, well, the Simplex is waterproof. And I told them, I said, well, yeah, and so is the Equinox. But it's still not a bad idea to keep a cover on it, because even if you're out hunting in the dirt and you get that dust all over your screen, if you go to wipe your screen off, you're putting small microscopic scratches in the screen that you don't even realize.
And it just gets worse and worse and worse.
And my gloves always get covered in dirt, sand, whatever I'm digging in. And when I use the buttons, if I ain't got a cover on there, that's just like sandpaper.
That's
time that will wear.
That's a very
wear
good
through
point.
That waterproof protection. And
and we've made an investment in our detector, and it pays to protect that as best as you can. Take good care of it, keep it clean, batteries, put it away during the winter when it's really cold, but keep that box covered. And I know they supply these layover protectors from Minelab, which is nice, but they don't last long. They start peeling up, stuff gets under it. Where your cover is over it, solid, and it does a great job.
Yeah, if it gets scratched up, buy another one.
And a good tip for cleaning that cover is just use a little bit of Armor All, wipes it off, and it makes that vinyl look brand new again.
All right. Excellent point.
Wow, There's
a tip to the manufacturer right there.
Yeah, I've not given that any thought, but that probably would work very, very well. Definitely. And I've heard, I don't know if you or Chuck have heard of this, call it a old wives' tale or whatever. Some people out there believe that putting these control box covers on your machines can cause the machines to overheat. I've not seen that problem
I haven't
myself.
had that happen.
Yeah, I've not seen that problem myself, especially with Dean's covers.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I've seen that comment on a couple forums. And I don't know what they were doing or how hot it was, but I've never run across it. It's just been recently that I've heard this. And,
I've never a year and a half running your cover on at least a year and a half running the cover on your Equinox on the Equinox. Never taking it off. I've never had an issue, not even once.
That nylon Cordura is waterproof, but it does still breathe. Still breathe. It's not like rubber.
Yeah, it's not like you're encapsulating your control box in a Ziploc or something.
Right.
Hey, I got a question for you, Dean. How long does it take you to make one cover?
Anywhere from half hour to 45 minutes. but I very rarely make one at a time. I'll cut out everything and have everything ready to go for 40 at a time. And that usually, and I'll feed them through the machine one right after the other. You know, I'll do all the fronts, all the backs, and then I put the back to the front, inside out, and then they're turned right side in after I'm all done. And I can knock out 40 of them in, probably 3-4 days, 4 hours a day.
Wow.
It's a process. It's
Yep. I like supporting businesses in our area. You're in my area on today's date, all Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Missouri, Oklahoma, and every place else I go to with it. And I like U.S. companies making this kind of stuff instead of getting it in and out of China and it falls apart in a week.
Right.
I've sold them in every state in the country. All 50 states I've sold them to. And some people even have paid for the shipping to go overseas.
Oh, so you aren't opposed to shipping overseas as long as they're willing to pay the shipping?
Well, they do it through eBay Global Shipping Program, but I don't. Otherwise, I have to do customs and everything, and I'm not real comfortable with all that. I've sold them in Canada, and as long as they're willing to pay that extra postage through eBay, I'll ship them.
Wow. So what's the furthest you've ever shipped one of your covers to? Can you recall?
I think I've sold one in Australia.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
There's a shout out to our friends in Australia, Josh.
That's right. Yeah. Very, very cool. And I think we've got Fred on with us as well out of New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. I was calling. I saw you have Dean on there, and I did buy the Simplex from Chuck, and I bought one of those covers, and it has an excellent fit to it. I want to get one for my Deus because, unfortunately, I kind of scratched up the screen on the Deus, and I put that clear plastic over it, which seems to help, but the damage is done, I guess. But I think it might be good to have the whole thing encased in that,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, because I've used my Deus in the rain already and wipe it off and everything, but that would give it an extra protection from rain too, because the Deus control box is not really waterproof.
Right, exactly. Know, right? And as everybody knows that's heard me talk about the Deus, I'm very leery about getting that remote anywhere near water. I mean, if there's rain in the forecast, I'm not out with the Deus.
Well, I've been up in New Hampshire hunting, and it's pouring rain, and I just keep wiping it off, and it's never shorted out on me. But I don't like doing that. I would go back and get my waterproof unit then, get my CPX or something. But I was very impressed with the fit and the way that thing snugged right onto that Simplex, and I imagine the same way with the Deus. Really have it engineered. Yeah, and
that's one of the more popular. That's one of the more popular covers. Actually, Andy Sabish sent me an XP Deus to make a cover for that. That's how I got started. That's why I bought one, and that's how I got started making covers for the Deus.
Well, it's got to be. I'm sure it's a very popular unit. I'm going to get one. You sell those, Chuck? You have those in stock, or you get those, or what?
What, the covers for the Deus?
Yeah.
I don't have any of the covers in stock for the Deus at this time.
Okay.
But I probably will have. I've got to talk to Dean probably tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'll get in touch with you. I'll order one, because I think it's a great idea.
Thank
you. Especially, considering what I'm talking about with the rain and so forth. So,
it's a small price to pay for peace of mind. And, I mean, in terms of machines, control box covers are just like coil covers. they're a sacrificial accessory to protect our main investment.
Yeah. Well, and how long, using muddy fingers and everything, how long does it take before that cover gets kind of, clouded out from...
Not very long.
Yeah.
Not very long, but like I said, on one wipe with Armor All, and it looks new again.
Oh, yeah, so the Armor All freshens it all up for you?
Pardon me?
You don't have to use... the Armor All freshens up the clouded screen? Makes it look clear again? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to use window cleaner on them. But, without that screen protector, you're
beating your machine up.
Beating the machine up. What you see on that cover is what you would be doing to your machines.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea. Chuck mentioned it to me after I bought after I ordered the Simplex, and then I looked at it and I ordered that, and I'm very happy with it. So you seem to be doing a great job with that. I just wanted to compliment you on that.
Right.
Thank you.
And that's what I recommend to people as well anymore, because, obviously we promote Chuck here on the show, and I've even went as far now to telling people if you contact Chuck for a machine like an Equinox, a Deus, a Simplex, ask him about Dean's cover too. You'll thank yourself in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. After my experience with I noticed it on my machine after I had it for a year or so, and I was like, I got to do something about this. So I put that clear screen protector stuff on there, but it doesn't do anything for the buttons or anything, whereas your cover covers all that stuff, I suppose, right? The control buttons and all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to get one of those, because I never really gave it much thought until I saw how nice that fit on the Simplex. It's just like a second skin for that thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that impressed me with Dean's covers is the fit. I mean, because I've got the one for the Equinox, but just like with the Simplex, it fits like a glove.
Yeah, it does. It snubs right on there, and it doesn't get loose or bag out or anything. So you have it engineered very well. So, congratulations on that.
And there's not There's not necessarily a whole lot of issue with glare like I've seen with some of the other covers too.
Oh yeah, well I don't have a lot of experience, as I said, with the covers, but I was very impressed with that one. So you're doing a great job. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there. I don't want to stop you from getting into other discussions. From my own personal experience, I haven't used that machine in real life, but when I do, I'm not worried about getting the thing messy. So, and where are you located? Are you in Ohio, or you around this area?
I am in Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh,
Iowa. Nearby Nebraska.
Okay, that's out there. And you guys having a tough winter out there?
Yeah.
What's up? Oh, yeah?
I'm ready for it to be over.
He's pushing it all our direction, Fred.
Yeah, we're having sort of a non-winter here, so far. We had one snowfall, but now it's like 40s and going up to 50 every day. Snow's all melted off. So it's really kind of a surprise. We thought we were going to have a tough winter. But so far, we're not out of the woods yet. But so far I've been detecting. The ground's not frozen. So we're lucky here.
I'm jealous.
So,
it sounds like we all need to pack up and go to New Jersey.
There you go. Yeah. We got room here. You can come in again. But have to make
there's no room on the highway.
Yeah, the highways that's another deal around here. You know that, Chuck. If you drive around here, you have to have a lot of patience because there's too many cars, and they're all going. Forget about rush hour. I have my own business, so I go out when I have to. I skip rush hour if I can. So. It's just not worth it. It's too frustrating. But so do you have any other products in the pipeline that you're going to be making?
No, I just always keep my eye out for the new models coming out. Try to get one as quick as I can. Try to stay up to date. You
got that new Minelab coming out, right? That new
Vanquish should be shipping here this week, I'm told. and that kind of is very similar. The head on that Dean is very similar to the one on the Equinox.
Is that waterproof machine, that Vanquish?
No.
The Vanquish is not waterproof.
Okay, so it's not like the Equinox in that respect. Okay, no. I don't know that much about that machine, but is that made to compete with a lower level, like a lower? I don't know. What the price
top of the line of that one comes with a couple extra coils, and they seem to be they have a multi-IQ system in them. They seem to be pretty adept on the silver and stuff, but it's not waterproofed. And that's the model 540 in that line, comes with the whole smear, and it sells for $4.99. And then you can get the one that's down below that in about the $3.99 range, and so on.
Yeah, so there again, as long as budget allows, you're probably better off putting a little extra with it and at least getting the Equinox 600.
Yeah, well, not everybody does water hunting, but it's nice to not have to think about it if you are out in the pouring rain or something. So
exactly.
Big plus.
I can remember the days of being out with the E-Track and having sudden rainstorms come up, and I'm running for cover so I don't ruin, a $1,200 machine.
Yeah, you don't want to short something out like that. But And then if
you're using the CTX, Dean makes them for the CTX too. I've seen those. And I would recommend the shroud on it, the shade that he makes for it too.
Yeah, that's
that
nice.
Helps on that.
Yeah, that's a nice touch that he incorporates that shade on there too, if you would like.
Oh, really? So it's a glare-reducing shade? Is that what it's good for?
Yeah,
that helps.
Like a visor.
All right.
Yeah. Visor.
Yeah. Well, when I'm using my Deus, sometimes the light hits it the wrong way now, and I can't even see the display. I just have to go by the sounds. But, because it did get a little scratched up, because my machine's going on like 6 years old now. So it's had some hard use.
It's been a good machine for you, though.
Oh, it has. I love that machine. It's really my favorite. I used the CTX last week, and I was like, oh, this thing's a beast, just the weight of it. If you're using a Deus, it's like, nothing, Or if you're using an Equinox, it's very similar.
Right, it's like swinging a stick.
Yeah, and the weight of that unit, the CTX 3030, but its balance is so much better than the old E-Tracks.
Yes,
and that doesn't bother me much. But boy, swinging that E-Track anymore, that starts to wear on the shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, I never used one of those. But,
I just pretty much said the same thing to Dean before we went live, because I had to ship my CTX in for repairs at one point, and went back to the E-Track while I was waiting for the CTX to come back from the shop. And I never realized until then how much better balanced the CTX is than the E-Track. They definitely could have done a little better job with the ergonomics of the E-Track.
Well, I guess they learned with the E-Track and transferred that knowledge into the CTX. So
there wasn't anything like ergonomics in 1972. You had a door handle on top of a blue box.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I've seen those old detectors. I've seen they look like a shoebox tied to a broom.
Yep.
Yeah. So
somewhere around here, I've still got an old Garrett Money Hunter. I think they were somewhere around 1979, 1982, somewhere around there, the area probably.
You got to open a museum.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see.
Runs on 4 9-volt batteries. That thing about break the bank to power up.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, when I got into metal detecting, they had, my first one was the Bounty Hunter, but that just had AA had like a 9-volt battery or something. But then I got, the AT Pro and then the Deus, and they're all I have a rechargeable battery pack for my AT Pro. I bought that.
Good call.
So I don't have to change. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, why keep having to put in AA batteries, 4 at a time? So you just charge it up. I like that rechargeable option. But
absolutely.
I don't want to deter from your show here. I just wanted to give Dean my input on it. That I'm very happy with it, and I'll let you guys get on with your conversation. But I just feel like calling and give my little 2 cents into the conversation.
Well, I'm sure that Dean appreciates your kind comments.
Yeah, well,
thank you very much.
I'm sure everybody's all right. Well, good luck with any new products you come out with, and like I said, I would like to get my hands on one of those Deus covers. So I'll be talking with Chuck about that. But
okay.
That's what we like to hear.
So, yeah. Well, that's.
Hey, I got a question for you, real quick. While we got Fred on there, the ORX and the Deus standard XP box, they're the same, aren't they, Dean? As far as the cover's concerned.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just basically the same thing as the Equinox 6 and 800. It's the same form factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Deus uses the same control box housing size and everything between those two. Because I don't have an ORX, I only have the standard Deus, but it looks the same when you see a picture of it. So
yeah, they're the same.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the Deus Light, I call it. I don't know if that's really the right way to call it, but
that's kind of the way I refer to it too. It's a more simplified Deus, a less user-intensive menu navigation.
Right, I think a lot of people are intimidated by that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have all that flexibility, but a lot of people don't understand what they all do, and they kind of don't even go near anyway. So you're probably better off with something like that.
Overwhelms them. Yeah, and you can't beat the price point on them. I mean, I want to say, I think I heard somewhere recently that the ORXs are running right around maybe $650, $700.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
I can't say for sure, though. Like I said, it's my job to talk machines. It's Chuck's job to talk prices. So if anybody's looking for one, they have to call him.
Well, my recommendation on these covers, look, you're going to run a machine so long you may want to sell it. If you're protecting that head on that with a good solid cover like what Dean makes, you're going to have a better resale value instead of a scratched up screen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I mean, I haven't been using my CTX that much. I was actually thinking of selling it, but I don't know how much I would get for a machine like that. It's 2 years old.
If it's a $150 machine or a $2,500 machine, you want to get the most back out of it if you're going to move up to a different machine or switch things around, just like you're talking. And take care of them, protect them.
Yep, you take care of them, they'll take care of you.
There. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right on that. So, I will be ordering that other screen for the Deus then. But
I'm going to go upstairs and tell my wife I was right once.
Oh, come on! I know it's been more than once. It's been more than once, Chuck. So you guys have a good night. And, it was nice talking to you, Dean. All right.
Yep. Thanks.
And all right. Good night.
Well, thanks for the call, Fred.
Fred.
Thank you, Josh. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Well, it sounds like Fred's going to be calling and getting a Deus cover from you there, Chuck. So there's another sale, and sounds like you may have to add some Deus covers onto that order when you order them Simplex covers.
Yep. I will definitely be talking with Dean. I got to get more Simplex and stuff in and get beefed up for the spring here because it's going to kick off here shortly. Fred, those guys are still hunting pretty good out there in Jersey.
Yes, they are.
Some of the east is, and they're up in the timbers yet and stuff. That's been kind of a blessing for them. Out here, we were under 6 inches of snow and slush. It isn't terribly cold right now. It's in the 30s, but
ground's still kind of hard. Yeah, the ground's still kind of hard.
I'll back out of here, Dean. I'll be talking to you. I'll send you a message tomorrow, and we'll get together, and I'll get my inventory back together. If you guys need any of them, I sell the same price as Dean. That's what I'm relegated to. Dean and I like Dean's product, and it makes sense to get it on your unit and take care of it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, like I was saying, when you see a product you like, you stand behind it.
That's right. And Dean makes a good one. I appreciate that, Dean.
Yes,
Thanks,
definitely. Chuck. Definitely. So I guess may not be much forewarning, but there's a heads up for you, Dean. Dean's probably going, man, you guys are going to make me work.
That's right.
I'm trying to stay ahead here this winter, so I'm prepared for the spring. It's usually kicks off pretty good in the spring. Everybody's getting back out. Yeah.
There you go. Do you ever notice like you said, it takes off really heavy in the spring, and then does it start to lighten up some for you come middle of the year so you can at least get out and do some digging too?
Oh yeah, it slows up enough that I got the wife here to make packages if I'm out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, someone to take care of shipping.
Yeah, it gets pretty frantic in early spring, and then as summer goes on, it slows down a bit.
Well, it sounds like it is certainly keeping you on your toes, especially with the popularity of the machines that we've seen lately, such as the Equinox and the Deus and the Simplex.
Yes, yeah, the Equinox by far.
Wow.
There you go. You guys have a good night. I'm going to get out of here. Dean, nice talking with you. We'll be chatting, and everybody have a great day out there, and go out and find something if you can still get out, and have a good night. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks,
Couldn't have said it
Take
better
care.
myself.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I want to say that I believe initially Chuck may have had somewhere around 2 or 2.5 dozen of those Simplex covers, and they just flew right out the door the way it sounded.
Yeah.
And he's got, like he said, he's got other people that are already voicing an interest, saying that they'd like to order one. They're just waiting. Apparently they're under snow too, so they're kind of going with the logic of why buy it now when I can get it when I'm ready to hunt. But that's something that people have to think about too. Sometimes now is actually the best time to buy, so you've already got it when you're ready to hunt.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I like to tell people. I mean, if they need to send a machine in for repairs, or they want a different coil for their machine, headphones, whatever, buy it now, not when everybody's out hunting, because then supply may be a little bit limited. Have you ever run into a situation where you've been kind of backlogged yet?
Yeah, I've had some pretty hairy situations. I was had to lose some sleep, stay up all night, so on a couple times.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're still getting them done and getting them out there for people so far, the way it sounds.
Oh yeah, that's pretty busy for a one-man operation, but I make a lot of them.
Right. Well, it sounds like that you've got the right guy to do it. You've got it down to a science. You're doing well with it. It's a very, very good quality product. It's had good success so far, and hopefully continued success with it.
Yeah. Word of mouth is the best advertisement, and it's proven to be true.
Absolutely, I would agree. Plus, this is a situation where this is one of those products where if people give it half a chance, it'll sell itself.
Yeah.
I would have to
say. A lot of my customers are return customers.
Well, so. and that tells you right there that you're doing things right. You have a good quality product that's working if you've got people coming back for more.
Yeah. I always stand behind my product too. Any defects I replace if it's anything in my fault.
Like if the stitching's coming loose or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. So
I think that's key. That's key to a good business.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so basically, not only do Chuck and I kind of stand behind your product, but it sounds like you as a manufacturer stand behind your product.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Guaranteed against any defects on my part.
Nice. So if anybody were to have an issue like that, I'm sure all they have to do is contact you via your email address, and you guys can get that all worked out if that was an issue on your end.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's always good to know. I'm sure some of the people out there would be very interested in knowing that, because it gives the customer some peace of mind when they know that they're not buying a product that's going to fall apart in just a couple of weeks. They're purchasing a quality product that you're going to stand behind, where if they have any issues with it, they can just contact you.
Yep.
Very good. Well, I'm sure that we have kept you on here for some time, and the way it sounds,
I haven't had the phone to my ear this long since I was a teenager.
Well, and the way it sounds, you may have some work that you may be needing to get to.
Oh yeah, I'm always busy.
Well, I would like to take a moment to thank you once again for taking the time to sit down with us tonight and discuss your experiences in the hobby, as well as your product of your control box covers. Very good product, and also didn't realize till we got into the show that you were in the military, so thank you very much for your service.
You're welcome.
Well, if you want to hang in there with me for a few minutes, we'll get on out of here.
Okay.
All right, so there you have it, folks. Dean Ricker discussing his control box covers. You've heard my view on it, Chuck's view, Fred's view. I've seen some nice comments in the chat as well. Good quality product. Obviously, you can order those through eBay. Dean's PayPal link that is in the description, Dean's email address, you can contact him through there for ordering information. And as I said at the beginning of the show, you can contact Chuck Smalley as well, because he also carries Dean's covers as well. So until the next time, check out the links for our friends at Shooters and Prospectors, Detecteurs, Extreme Scoops, TheRingFinders, XP Team USA, Metal Detecting NYC, Ohio Metal Detecting, All Metal Militia, DetectEd Outdoors, and obviously the Simplex raffle and the link for Dean's control box covers. Doing a very good job with them, and we wish him continued success with it. Have a wonderful evening, folks.